she's the one that she'll buy it. Like, she'll buy it. And I'm like, hey,
but we need the views.
We need to get up out of here.
We need to be current. We need to keep up with what's happening in the market.
Like, we need to leave.
Hi, and welcome to the Liquor Connoisseur. I'm Crystal.
I'm Roger.
And today we have a very special guest, the old-fashioned Barrister.
Hey, everybody. I am so happy to be here, and thank you for allowing me to be a guest on your show. I'm very, very excited. So my real name is Brandy, but I go by the old-fashioned Barrister. And fun fact, the reason why I called it Barrister is because I'm a lawyer by day. So I'm a lawyer who loves old fashions. And that's what a barrister is, a lawyer. So I accidentally got into the whiskey journey because I started falling in love with old fashions. I had one in New Orleans around like 2017. And they did the whole elaborate flair. They lit the orange peel on fire. It was pretty. And, New Orleans is extra. So I just thought that was a New Orleans drink. Not realizing how old fashions are dated, way back to the 1800s. So I was like, okay, bet. And then I needed a drink because I was kind of newly into being a lawyer. So I needed that sophisticated grown folks drink to have conversations with fellow lawyers and professionals. So came back to Houston, still thinking in my mind, I'm not going to find an old fashioned. These people don't know how to make old fashioned. But no, very surprised. So in 2019, me and one of my homeboys decided to find the best old fashioned in the city. In Houston. I live in Houston.
Ooh, you had a lot of
Yes. But then once we started, the world shut down. COVID. So it was like, really couldn't do that. But still decided to be like, okay, well, what do I want to do? Like, I do want to do something with an old fashioned. I love old fashions. That is my favorite drink. When the world, like, again, I live in Houston in Texas, so the world was opening before everybody else. So we was outside a little bit quicker than everybody else. So a friend of mine took me on I call it a whiskey tour of the Galleria area. So we went to Saks Fifth Avenue to their bar, Oceanair, because he was like, I want you to learn the base behind an old fashioned. He said, old fashioned is a cocktail, but do you know what a whiskey and a bourbon is? And so, and I was like, okay, I never thought about it. I'm just like old fashioned. And so from there, I went down a rabbit hole because I started at Whiskey University, which I'm currently one of their edutaster professors. So I teach class at Whiskey University.
Awesome.
I fell in love with the old fashioned. So, wrote the book right here. Definitely turned that passion into a book. And I mean, that's just my journey. So I'm still a newbie, but I enjoy whiskeys and bourbons. But honestly, I love old fashions more. So, and I love talking about old fashions. I love creating different variations of old fashions. And I tell people, make it your own.
Awesome. Well, in honor of your book, so I've got my bourbon definition t-shirt, and Roger actually has an old fashioned shirt.
I love it.
Well, that is an amazing journey. And you're right. Your friend was right. It does start with your base spirit. What notes do you like? What proof do you like? Because I've learned in cocktails, the higher the proof point, you still get to taste, if you want to taste, that spirit in all its qualities.
So my notes, I like a sweeter note. And when I say that, I tell people I don't like flavored whiskey, but I like sweeter. So I like more so the vanillas. And then, you might run into some fruity notes, like an apricot or something. And then a hint of some florals. So I do like those type of, that's what I'm starting to find out now. Higher proof, I love the higher the better. I mean, the highest I got on my bar right now is like 132 proof. And I think it's smooth.
Okay.
But
all right.
But from somebody who's starting out, I'd be like, do not start out with like an 80 proof, 85. But to make a good old fashioned, I do like higher proofs, and I tend to do some rye as well. But then again, I experiment with old fashioned, so I'm not that bourbon snob. It's like, oh my gosh, if you have $100 bottle, then don't make an old fashioned with it. I am the one to be like, yes, I got $150 bottle, and I'm gonna make me an old fashioned with it to see what it tastes like.
That's what I'm talking about. Drink it how you like it. Yeah.
Right.
So when it comes to that, definitely, like I said, my proofs are higher, and my tasting notes are a little sweet.
Have you tried it with an old fashioned with New Dawn?
I have not heard of New Dawn.
Oh, New Dawn is amazing.
Black female owned out of New York.
Donna Hill.
Okay, so she was here in Houston for the Taste of Black Spirits event. So I first tasted her whiskey. I have not made it yet because I need to get a bottle. So I haven't bought a bottle yet. But I have not had an old fashioned with it yet.
And they just came out with the weeded bourbon, and that's actually good too.
Nice.
But talking about higher proof, she's got her bourbons are high proof, so I figured they would make an amazing old fashioned.
Yeah, I definitely need to try to get a bottle. So, because it was good when I tried it, I thought it was. I'm like, yes. I was like, black on, tastes good. Like, yeah.
To me, it was what a bourbon should taste like. It had all the qualities. Going back to your book, I thought it was real great. You talked about that signature cocktail. That's something that I had to learn myself is, okay, I'm going to these happy hours, these networking events. What's going to make me stand out? Because I'm an introvert. Mm-hmm. So I don't know how to start a conversation a lot of times. So what can I get that's going to start a conversation? And I feel like that's what an old fashioned does. For me, it was getting tequila neat. What do you mean tequila neat? How can you drink that? Like it started a conversation to get to know people. And that's what I feel like an old fashioned is. Almost anywhere you go is going to have an old fashioned.
And it may not be a good old fashioned though, but
it may not be good.
You gotta be mindful of the ingredients that they use to make that old fashioned, because sometimes it's full of shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And I definitely agree. Like that's what it was. And being out, being a female, I love how men will love to test my old fashioned skills.
Ooh.
So it's definitely a conversation piece, but I do get tested a lot, and I just smile and just let them go on a rant, and then I'll be like, "Oh, I wrote a book. See, my fault."
Yeah,
and then it's like, "Oh," then they eyes get big, and then that's another conversation piece, even more. It's like, but it is definitely. I think I learned about Uncle Nearest right before Uncle Nearest blew up, because an older gentleman, I was at a Christmas party and I ordered an old fashioned. He said, try with Uncle Nearest. And I said, what and who? And I'm still new. I'm still new to the game. So, and I was like, I didn't know Uncle Nearest was even black owned either. He just said, try it with Uncle Nearest. And he ordered it for me, passed it to me, and it was good. And I said, okay, but I didn't know who, I didn't know anything about Uncle Nearest then. Right. And then when Nearest blew up, I was like, Uncle Nearest, it was very.
I know who that is. I've had that bottle before.
Yeah, that is one of the greatest brand stories. We've actually reviewed the book that Fawn wrote. It was amazing. We thoroughly enjoyed learning about Uncle Nearest and Jack Daniels and how that came about.
I gotta read the book. I have the book, but I'm still begging and pleading to get her. So if she's Fawn Weaver, if you're listening, I'm still begging and pleading for you to come to Houston. I met Auntie Vicky. Auntie Vicky signed my book, but
nice.
I need come on down. Come on down to Houston if you hear this. I'm still begging and pleading.
I bet Lazar might be able to help you with that.
Yeah. Because she's been in the airport, and I mean, she comes to Houston. So let me not say she doesn't come to Houston, but we were unfortunate not to get the actual signing that she did, the tour. And that's what I'm waiting on, because I am going to get the VIP ticket and try to be on the front row.
There you go.
Yes.
There you go.
Yes. Well, I love how you talk about being challenged about your knowledge. This book definitely gives a glimpse of what you know. I love what you call the bourbon and bits, that teaches some of the history behind the old-fashioned cocktail.
And that came about because I do love history. So that's why I really am fascinated with whiskeys and bourbons. And that's why I joined Whiskey University, because it literally, you're not just talking about what you're tasting, what you're smelling, but you're literally learning the history of Like, who is behind it? Like Elijah Craig, which is the father of bourbon in his history, the Jack Daniels and Uncle Nearest story, like you're learning that. So I turned that into like Bourbon and Bits because I want you to know just a little bit. The old fashioned, James Pepper, I believe that was his name. He was sitting in the Pendulum Club in Kentucky, and it was kind of rumored, but the first Black bartender made the old fashioned for him. So it's like, and so I love those things. So that's why I came up with the Bourbon and Bits. So to give that information and to give history about behind, certain bottles, certain things that I do with the book. So.
Yeah. And I believe that bartender was Tom Bullock.
Tom Bullock.
We're starting to learn more about his story now as well.
I want somebody to go deeper into it because I have his the cocktail book, The Ideal Bartender. But I want somebody to do like they did with Uncle Nearest, because you don't get that much about him. It's like, we know he's the first Black bartender. He lived in Kentucky. He kind of sort of, put the old fashioned together. But it's like, but what else? But he did contribute to the whiskey, bourbon history. And so, but I want somebody to just do a deep dive so we can have a story with it.
I agree. That would be great.
Yes. I feel like there's a spirit with his name.
Is. So maybe... I think I tasted the gin. So, but I wonder if they did as much as Fawn did with Uncle Nearest. Right. So
we'll have to research that. And if so, we gotta get them on the show.
Yeah, I'm for that.
Yeah, we love the history behind the spirits because it's so rich, and you never think about how some of these spirits started, how religion played a part in some of it.
Exactly.
As well.
And that's what's fascinating because going back to Elijah Craig, he was a Baptist preacher. So, and was it McCall who hired Uncle Nearest and Jack Daniels, and he was a preacher too, So he had own bourbon, bourbon distillery, but he was a preacher. So that is hilarious how Baptist preachers created the whiskey industry.
Yeah.
They forget about those roots.
They saved and sanctified now.
Right. Well, we enjoyed going through the different recipes, and we wanted to do something different. So we did not make cocktails that had bourbon. We chose the alternative old fashions that you mentioned in the book. So I have the grapefruit old fashioned that I did mixing. For the grapefruit, I got some grapefruit and sea salt from Fresh Victor. It's a cocktail mixer, non-alcoholic, that I mixed with some Don Julio double cask reposado tequila.
Yeah, that's pretty neat tequila. I like that one.
A little smoky.
Yeah. I went with, also veered away from whiskey. I decided to go with a coconut rum. We're doing the coconut vanilla rum old fashioned. Of course, I'm using Murmur because that is the best coconut rum I've had in a while.
And she's in with my Dallas people.
Yes. I love that it's made with fresh coconut water.
It is I do love that. So then that goes back to what I said. Y'all made it your own. That's what my book is about. I am not the bourbon snob. I love when people make it their own. I say my book is a guide. It's a base. You don't have to follow it to a T, make it stronger, sweeter, whatever. It's fun. And that's what I'm about. Fun and and enjoying life. So the fact that you did Don Julio and grapefruit, and then you did the coconut and used Murmur, I'm here for it. I'm like,
yeah, Crystal told me, she got me this morning. Was like, hey, you need to go ahead and run through the book real quick, pick out a cocktail recipe. I was like, okay, hold on. Let me see what I seen some stuff. I was like, man, they're going to be looking for me to pick a bourbon or a rye. I said, I'm going to do something different. Nobody's going to suspect me pick this. And it is delicious and it's very well balanced. So I think I did a good job.
And I'm so glad the fact that, like you said, you went outside the norm. And that's why I did that. Because, I was like, there's a lot of people that don't like bourbon and whiskey, but let's do a tequila. Let's do a rum. You know, I think I even did a vodka. Let's do a vodka and see what that tastes like.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's still an old fashioned. It's three ingredients. It's your spirit base, bitters, and simple syrup. And I'm post prohibition, so I'm using simple syrup. I do not like the muddled sugar.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm like,
The sugar doesn't break down right.
I'm like,
yeah.
that sugar's still sitting at the bottom of my glass. So, but I definitely I love it, and so I'm so happy. So, how does it taste? So, what does it taste like, Crystal, with the grapefruit? I'm not a fan of grapefruit.
Yeah. So with the grapefruit, you get that freshness of the grapefruit. This also has sea salt in it, the mixer. So you get a little layer of that salt, which pairs well with that Don Julio. It's actually finished in Lagavulin cask. So you get that smokiness from that barrel. You get some of that vanilla and that agave. So it's just a nice, smoky, just slightly sweet.
I think I'm going to try that.
You should, because I just tried it and I was like, all right, maybe you own to something, because it's got that tartness to it, but the smokiness that you get from the Lagavulin, it plays very well. At mine, you can't miss with Murmur because it's like juicy. It's like a juicy coconut. I guess the coconut water just adds that extra to it. And I'm using Woodford Reserve's Angostura bitters. And that coupled with the vanilla extract, I don't know, it gives it kind of like a chocolatey vibe. Like it gives you some of this almond joy-esque with the coconut and the chocolate. And it's delicious. I like this one. I'll make this again. So I appreciate you creating this book so I can go through there and find me a cocktail recipe real quick for my friends and myself. This is going to make it easy.
Yes. Yeah. And I even did some holiday ones too. So, you know, it's the, you get you a pumpkin spice for the fall. You can do a little eggnog for Christmas, you know, so, and a peppermint cranberry. So I was like, you got festive in between.
Yeah, you can have old fashions all year long.
Yes. Yes. Because there's about 40 of them in there.
Yeah. I even saw a recipe for a hot toddy.
So I went to Memphis. Old Dominic is in Memphis. And I bought just a hot toddy mix, the hot toddy bottle. And so that's why I called it Not Your Grandmama's Hot Toddy, because I just used that. And then put some, and I added a little bit of probably Blue Note bourbon. And then, because my cousin was sick. So one of my cousins, she was sick. She was here for Thanksgiving a couple of years ago. And I created it for her. And so then I added some lemon juice to it. And I added fresh squeezed lemon. And she felt better. She was like, you know, her chest was feeling good. You know, had the, definitely had the hot toddiness, but it felt good. Speaking of, it's funny too, because my boyfriend is sick right now. And so I made him a hot toddy. I just made him a hot toddy. This one was a little bit potent. I used, so here I just did a Tristle because I want to shout out to Damn Whiskey. Okay. I used them, which is black owned, out of Dallas, Texas, which I'm originally from. So I'm always going to support anybody out of Dallas, Texas. I'm going to support. So there are 4 guys out of Dallas who came up with this whiskey. So I was like, well, let me use that. So I did about 1.5 ounces. And then I did a half a lemon. So I did lemon juice. And I put a couple of peppermints in there and honey.
Oh,
so, yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
It lightens it up a little bit. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
But it was coming up. It was making his chest feel good. He was starting to feel better. So now he added a few more peppermints in there because it was a little strong with the
yeah.
But yeah, so I definitely recommend a hot toddy. I did the same thing for my cousin. I actually did the one out of my book for my cousin last Thanksgiving when she was sick.
Okay.
Hot toddies work.
Yeah, they do. We grew up with them, so
yeah. Alcohol is medicinal. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean that's how it works.
They said that back in the day when they first started, it was the medicinal license, their prohibition.
Right.
Yes, give me my prescription.
Right. So ain't nothing changed.
Not at all. Oh man. Well, we love your book. We love hearing about your background. I still, since we first started talking, just thinking about how guys challenge you.
It's fun though. So I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I just like, man, to be there when you just get back and I'm like, well, I did write the book on old fashioned.
And you know what? And when I do, because I don't always lead with that. I just love, let's go because you buy free drinks. I'm gonna take advantage. I'm gonna act like I don't know nothing because I'm gonna give you some drinks. And then when it gets to more conversations, then I'll be like, well, I wrote a book about old fashions, and it's casual. And then they don't believe me. They just like, okay, yeah, sure, And then I'm like, oh, okay, well, let me go pull out my phone.
Yeah, be like, well, if you want to learn more, here's my class.
Yeah.
I need to do that. I have not done that, so that's what I need to do. I definitely need to. But yeah, when I actually show them the picture of the book on my phone, eyes get big. Like it's amazement. Then it's like, well, where can I buy your book at? And I'm like, well, I have some in the trunk if you want to buy now.
Yeah.
So I take credit cards. You can buy it on Square. Or I was like, I take cash, but I don't have no change. I said, or you can get on Amazon or Target or Walmart. I was like, any online retailer, bookstores.
Oh, yeah. We got ours from Amazon.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And again, I appreciate y'all doing it. Like, I really appreciate it.
I'm going to have to get down to you because I'm going to find you to sign this book. I would love an autograph copy. So, we're going to have to meet up.
The age, I tell everybody, just don't leave on a Sunday. Leave on Monday.
We understand. We know that traffic getting up out of there is crazy.
It's not even that. You're just gonna miss out on Sunday Fun Day, and you can't miss out on Sunday. Like we Houston created Sunday Fun Day, so do not leave on a Sunday. You leave on a Monday.
Okay, that's fair. We got to make that happen.
Yes.
We start at 11 and we end at 11 a.m. and we end at 11 p.m.
Oh,
so it's quite a day.
We gotta leave on Tuesday.
Okay, so we're leaving on Tuesday. Tuesday, not Monday. Okay, got you.
So you know what I'm saying? That's why we really stop at never leave on a Sunday. Now, when you leave after that, that's for you.
Yeah, it's like how you feeling.
Never leave Houston on a Sunday. Never leave Houston on a Sunday.
So with the success of the book, your class, what's next for the Old-Fashioned Barrister?
I would say stay tuned. There's some things in the works dropping in 2025.
Okay.
Well, put us on the list.
Oh, y'all will believe me. You will be. I don't want to publicly say it yet because it's still working. And I don't need anybody to, because I've seen somebody have already dropped it, before, and I low-key feel like it was because of my book. But stay tuned. Let's just say this time next year, I plan for it to be fully launched.
Okay.
But it is like things are in the works right now.
That's awesome. So you have a legal background.
Yes.
Have you thought I know you've practiced family law. Have you thought about switching and maybe fixing some of these outdated alcohol laws we got going around?
I never thought about that. That would be interesting. Because I am thinking about stepping back from law, like practicing full time. So, but I wouldn't mind. I like a good fight. So, especially since what's going on, in the next 4 years. So I do like a good fight. That would be something I wouldn't mind tackling on. Because I do agree. So, but the state that I'm in, I feel like it would be hard to make a change. I mean, not saying I'm not up to the task, but some of the conservative states, it would definitely be harder.
If Oklahoma can have alcohol on Sunday, so can Texas.
Man,
we can't have alcohol on Texas.
See, in Oklahoma, we can.
We can.
Yeah, we can. So we are. And they have been, now that has been tried, and no. Because we're still the blue, what is it? We're still the Bible, considered the Bible Belt when it comes to that. And it's like the blue law. So if Christmas fall on a Saturday.
Oh, last year.
On a Sunday. And if Christmas fall on a Saturday and then it's a Sunday or a Sunday, Monday type holiday, you can't get alcohol for 2 days.
So we were in Texas last Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
We got there, was it Christmas Eve?
Yeah.
Boy, we were in line for about 2 hours at Total Wine.
Total Wine Specs, they were both shut down.
Yeah.
It was terrible. I was in line just holding bottles. I'm like, man. And it was like this, if you got a basket, you can go over here. But if you only got a few things, so we're like, okay, let's get rid of the basket. You hold some, I hold some. And it helped a little. Yeah. But it was like, you couldn't even notice. We're still there forever. I was getting hungry.
That's why I don't like during the like when it's like that, and they'll say it'll be on their website on their banner, or it'll be on the commercials out here saying stock up on your alcohol because we are closed. What like Monday, Sunday, Sunday, Monday, or Saturday and Sunday, like they will be closed for the holidays. So I definitely understand what
that was an experience. It was the one time I wish I was back home in Oklahoma.
Yeah, not doing it again. No, I'm not doing that again. If it happens to fall like that, next time we're there, I'll just be like, no, I'm cool. I don't need nothing.
And so because I'm so used to not having alcohol on a Sunday, when I go travel to other states, I'm oblivious because I'm like having to ask, y'all open on Sunday? Like, can I go get alcohol on Sunday?
Yeah.
And it's a culture shock.
Yeah.
Gone in this liquor store on Sunday because when I go home, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
I always do. Every time I travel, let me find me a liquor store on Sunday. And then, because even here, you can buy beer and wine on Sunday, but you have to wait till like 10 o'clock.
Mm.
So, like at the grocery stores. So, you can go to like Walmart and, at 10 o'clock, you have to wait. So, but that is something that is very interesting. I mean, living in Texas, I don't know if I could fight that because many have tried.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So, I think it just is what it is with us. We're still the Bible Belt-ish.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, looking at the book, how did you come up with some of these recipes? Just kind of going back into that. I know some of them are made by a friend.
Mm-hmm. Only a few. Because I'm always the creative. I'm extra. My friends would tell me I'm the extra one out the bunch. I sit up there and be creating stuff that has no rhyme or reason. And so, again, old fashions, it's just 3 ingredients. It is bourbon or whiskey. Because, they say bourbon, you don't go with old fashioned, but bourbon or whiskey, bitters, and simple syrup. That's it. That is an old fashioned. And then you add your garnishments. Well, when I started going to different places and I saw bars that had plum bitters or orange or vanilla or whatever, I would literally just go up to the bar and tell the bartender, hey, let's play around with your bitters and make an old fashioned. And they was down. And they were down for it. And then when I started writing the book, then I had my little notebook with me because I'm still old school. I write everything down. So I would go to the bar and go to the bartenders to see what they had. And I said, hey, I'm writing a cocktail book and I'm trying to make them all at home. So can you make it for me and let me taste it? Like, I'm going to tell you what to do. So I was telling them how to make it. And then we would play around with it. And then I would write it all down when we're done. And so, but yeah, I saw that there was so many different bitters. And I'm like, let's get away from the traditional. Let's go outside the box.
It's a question. How many free drinks did you get out of that?
Oh, it was a lot.
it was a lot. Y'all need to write a book.
Write books and get cool drink ideas. Yeah. Here we go.
Because, the first one, of course, I had to pay. But then when I told them what I was doing, they were excited about it. And I mean, the excitement on their face to just like say, they contribute to it or whatever. Like that was a good thing. And even now with my book, I'll go to the bartenders and I was like, hey, let's make an old fashioned. And then let's try one out of my book if they have the bitters or something like that. And then again, they're looking at me crazy too, because they'll be like, okay, like whatever. And I'm like, let me show them a picture of my book. I'm like, here it is. They eyes light up. Then they feel pressured because they was like, oh, so you're going to judge me on the old fashioned if I don't make it right. And I'm like, I'm not that person. I said, I'm not that person. I said, now I will kind of critique you, but I said, I'm not that person because everybody likes the old fashioned differently.
Mm-hmm.
So, some people like theirs extra sweet. Some people might want it, a little bit stronger, so it can be hard at times to find that perfect balance. So, but I know here in Houston, though, there are some bartenders I have literally said and put them on the map. They have the best old fashioned in the city.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good to know.
We actually earlier this year, we went to an old fashioned night.
Yeah.
Oh.
There were about 10 local bars and they had you their take on an old fashioned.
So I did that in Houston. I did it for Kentucky Derby. So I incorporated the mint julep. So I did the whiskey derby crawl with 4 or 5 different locations. And we did the mint julep first, and then we had an old fashioned from my book. So each place had an old fashioned from my book. And then when I do book signings or book tastings or whatever, I'm like tastings with my book, I'll have the bar do a signature old fashioned from my book. And if I highlight like a particular, for Juneteenth, I highlighted a few whiskey brands, Black owned, and then I had them make an old fashioned from my book as a signature.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
That is awesome. It's so versatile.
Yeah.
How do people
go ahead?
Oh, sorry. No, you go ahead.
I was like, but people don't realize that. I mean, the old fashioned can be what it is, the traditional old fashioned, and you can leave it as that. But that particular cocktail, to me, it's strong, not like in taste, but it has a strong history, and it's a very, conversation piece. Why not switch it up to continue the conversation even more?
That's
and
right.
Here we are.
That is very true. I think I've had 2 pretty wild old fashions. One was a fatback wash.
Yep, I've had one.
And I wasn't ready. It was so savory. I wasn't ready. And then the other one was like a s'more.
I've had a s'more. I've had a few s'mores. Those are sweeter to me.
Yeah. The creativity is just amazing.
Yeah.
That's what I love about it.
I had a Wagyu steak old fashioned at Georgia James.
Okay.
How was that? You didn't like it?
I didn't take it back. I gave it to one of my homeboys. We was together. And he's a mixologist on the side. He loved it. I said, all I taste is steak.
Okay, it was too much.
Yeah, it was just that's all because the aftertaste was steak. And not even steak like you're cutting it up and you're getting the flavors of, because Wagyu is a phenomenal steak. Like I love Wagyu steak. But it just reminded me like steak juice, like the grease from the steak.
Okay.
That's what it gave me. When Lazar was here for the Taste of Black Experience event, Ed the Experience, the one Ed Warner, he's called Ed the Experience here in Houston, a phenomenal mixologist. He made a barbecue old fashioned.
Oh,
it was amazing. Now that was good. And he used Gatlin's Barbecue, which is a Black-owned barbecue spot here in Houston, and he fat washed the brisket, and it was like. But I was like, this was amazing. It was a barbecue brisket old fashioned, and it was so good.
That sounds good.
And now that was good because it gave you could taste the smokiness of the brisket. So like it was so good.
Now I need a deluxe edition of the book because you just named off 2-3 more recipes.
Yeah. We're gonna have to. We definitely gonna have to link up on some of these cocktails.
Well, fun fact: I don't know how to fat wash nothing. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know how to do that. Like I need to learn that. I have not got there yet.
Okay.
Anybody out there want to teach me? I'm here.
Yeah, that's something I want to learn. That in the clarified cocktails.
Oh, yes. Reserve 101 here in Houston has the best clarified cocktail.
Okay.
Like, it is beautiful. It will actually, the New York Sour clarified, it is beautiful. Like, that is their signature. So whenever y'all in Houston, we're going to Reserve 101.
Okay. Yeah, I'm taking these notes, man.
We will let you know.
Yeah, we're going back to watch this footage and taking note of all these places and all these suggestions.
I'm going to remember. Y'all just tell me you're in my city. Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We're going to do that.
We'll make it happen.
Yes. Next time y'all come out here, like you will get to come to all my favorite whiskey bars and everything. So
I'm excited because there's just all the creativity, the places you can go with these cocktails. How surprised are people when you make the old fashions without whiskey?
Nobody's surprised. Well, I think because I did it on TV that time, like it was like this time last year. That's what surprised. I was surprised myself because I had to Google that because that was caught off guard. It's not really surprising because I have a lot of friends who are into mocktails. And so when I tell them let me say, they're not surprised like it can't be done. They're just like, oh wow, like thank you. Because they just assume when they come over that I have nothing for them to drink. So then when I say, I make a mocktail old fashioned, because they want to try it, but I'm like, I'm not a drinker. So for me to do that for them, they're just like, I appreciate you taking the time to do this for me because you didn't have to.
Yeah, it brings them out the corner, brings them into the conversation.
Yeah. And all I do, because you can use non-alcoholic whiskey, but I actually make mine, quote unquote, from scratch. I use black tea.
Okay.
So yeah. Okay. So I do black tea. Yeah, so I do black tea, bitters, and like in simple syrup. Because I just actually made one for my friend last week and she liked it.
That's what I'm talking about.
Now, is that recipe in the book?
No, that came after the fact.
Oh,
okay.
I was promoting the book when I had to learn how to do that.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, thank you for this because
for sure.
I would have never thought a grapefruit old fashioned with some tequila would be so amazing.
That part. Yeah. And I don't even like grapefruit, so I appreciate it.
You're like, that's not one I would be partaking in, but if you like
it, I think it would change your mind.
It's tasty.
You're gonna
right
try
amount of brightness with the smoky. What she did. I thought that was cool.
Yeah, I like that. Look, now I need you to go ahead and just drop that in them DMs of that recipe.
Okay.
I need that.
I'll get it to you. Yeah. Definitely. Well, just a little bit on how we met. We met through Ursula Dunn and Sister Supply Chain.
Okay.
So, oh man, she has helped our show out so much because we have interviewed and supported so many of the brands that are on there. So thank you so much for being here with us because that network is powerful.
Yes. I'm so glad they came to Houston. Like, I was so excited. I literally was in Europe and saw that they were coming to Houston. I stopped what I was doing in Europe to make sure I commented and said, please tell me, how can I be a part? What you need me to do? I'll be back in Houston in like 2-3 weeks. I told Lazar, can pick me up. Like, what?
That's awesome.
Literally, they came to Houston because I met Ursula during the event. Lazar and his team came the weekend I got back in town from Europe. Like, I hadn't even been in town for a day. And they was like, we're here. And I was like, I'm going to make it happen. I'm tired and jet lagged, but I'm going to make it happen. So, yeah, that is a great network.
It's an amazing event. I went to Taste of Spirits in Brooklyn.
Mm-hmm.
And had a great time meeting other people on the platform and just having an experience.
That's awesome. Well, y'all have a great podcast. Like, keep going. Like, I can see y'all. Look, we're going to be in person sitting on the couch on TV.
Okay. Yes.
I'm for that.
Let's speak that in.
Speak that into it.
Y'all going to be on the, what is it, the Fox Soul Network? Y'all going to be on there. Fox Soul. With the major folks. Y'all gonna take over this nation.
Oh man, we would love to. Our biggest thing is not just tasting spirits, but also educating about them and creating an experience with it. So that's what our goal is. And so next year we're gonna do a lot more research, do some certification so we can grow up like you.
Yeah.
So let me know when you're ready because I promote Whiskey University like it ain't nothing. Because after I got my executive bourbon steward certificate, I thought that was it. And I actually went to Kentucky and got it done. So that's an amazing experience. Wow. So I really thought that was just the level of, okay, I got a certificate. I think I'm fancy. But okay, I don't know nothing. Like that's what I was thinking. Okay. Tell you nothing about the taste of notes. It's still, So, but when I started with Whiskey University, because I'm working on my second bachelor's, because it goes all the way up to your master's. But with that, you are able to teach a class. Like I teach 2 classes with them. I teach the women in whiskey class and the Texas whiskey class.
Oh, wow.
So
Okay.
yeah, and it's virtual. It's all virtual. They're out of Columbia, Tennessee. But it is a phenomenal university to learn like all things whiskey and bourbon. And you're not just learning just whiskey and bourbon. You're going to learn the history of brandy. You'll talk about other like Canadian whiskey, you know, not just American whiskey, but Canadian whiskey. You're talking about how it's distilled and how it's processed. Like you go to the very basics. Like you learning the basics, like baby, like what is bourbon for real? You know, how is bourbon made? What is whiskey? What is, you know, what is it? All bourbons? No, all whiskeys are bourbons. I always
All
get
bourbon
confused.
is
All
whiskey,
bourbon's whiskey,
but
but
not
all
whiskey is
whiskey's
bourbon.
The bourbon, that's it. Because I'm like, I always get it confused. But you know, bourbon has to be made in America and it has to be 51% corn. You know, has to be. They still debating on the barrels. You know, some say new American oak, or now they're just saying new oak charred barrels. But now it's just like, oh, it can be just a charred barrel. May not be oak. It can be in a container. So that's still debate. But you learn those things. You know, and so that's what make it, like I said, very, very like I done got people in Whiskey University. That's where if you want to really like deep dive into a Whiskey University is a good start.
Okay.
I
I'll
like
have to
that.
make that investment.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's very expensive. It's inexpensive too. So it's not like you paying for college tuition.
Yeah.
It's the big and it helps you build your collection too, because it's a BYOB class. So each class you're learning like so for instance, if you're taking a Tennessee whiskey class, they'll give you the list of the bottles for you to buy if you don't already have them. And you don't have to also necessarily go out and buy all the bottles either, because that can get expensive. But they'll give you a list of what they're going to teach. You learn about each bottle, the history, again, how Tennessee whiskey is made, but it builds your collection. And then some of the bottles are repeated in another class, because then now you might, take the rye whiskey class, but that Tennessee whiskey bottle, like say Uncle Near's rye, you already have that. So then that's, there for another class. But that's how I built my collection, was through them.
You know, I wish college was like that. Bring your own bottle versus bring your own book.
Yeah.
Learn more.
That you can't set back out. Bring your own book that you can't get back.
Right.
Yeah.
They're like, I'm stuck with this book because you want to give me $2 for this $200 book that I bought. Okay.
Ooh, I remember that. Ooh, I'm so hot about that.
Oh my gosh.
Why they do us like that? I'll never know.
Why?
Why they do us like that?
Look, and I still got them books to this day sitting on my shelf. I can't do. I
Can't let them go for $2.
Right.
Can't do that.
Can't do that. They tried to take it to half price books, and they was like, "We'll give you $5." Okay, you just gonna
Trying to rob us.
Yes, like memories. That's just memories. That's how I look at it. Book is a memory.
Oh, man. Those were the days.
Yeah.
It happened to all of us. That's the same part.
Y'all
all got the same story.
That's it. You right. They was scamming us before. We was being scammed before we knew what scam it was. That was the ultimate scam.
Maybe prepared us for the secondary market in whiskey.
Maybe, because I've seen some wild stuff with the whiskey lately. Yeah.
Yeah. That's secondary. That's a scam too. Secondary prices.
Don't tell me they teach allocated whiskey as a class, because that might be hard.
They do.
This is why the markup is what it is.
They know, but the thing about it is because they do talk about the allocated whiskeys. So, and you will have allocated whiskeys on some of the classes. They know you can't buy no Pappy, and they gonna tell you don't buy no Pappy.
Yeah.
But when you got them like older, like the older people who've been drinking whiskey for years, they may have Pappy, and then they'll sip it and drink it. But it's funny because they love to talk about Pappy. So I'm like, yeah, like they'll say maybe somebody gave it to them a gift before they retired or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, it just tastes like a lower shelf or something. And I was like, so y'all just don't want me to buy Pappy ever in life, because I ain't heard nothing good about Pappy.
We've had it.
I've had some, and I think because of how expensive it is for us to get now, I couldn't appreciate it for what it was. So it's it's good if it's under $100. You know, if it's like.
But that's consistent.
But you could say that about just about anything. It's good if it's under $100. Now, once you go past 100, and you get to wherever it is, 1,000 or 2. Now I've got to have my mind blown. Like I've got to be in a state of euphoria to appreciate it. And it didn't do that. I was just like, oh, I've got this on my shelf at home.
And that's that's why I did say I still want to taste it, but I really believe that that's going to be my same thing. I'm going to be disappointed. And so, for one, I ain't never spending $1,000 on no bottle. Let's be clear.
Yeah, let's be clear. Not doing that.
I'm not doing it. Everybody else can do it, and I'm here for it. And please send me your samples of that expensive bottle. Matter of fact, if anybody listening, y'all can send me a sample. If I just want the little small 1 ounce. I'm not even.
I'll take a little handshake, a little tiny bit. I'm good with that.
Right, just give me a little tiny bit of that pappy, because me and my ministry, the way we set up.
Say the way my checking and my savings is set up.
Got 20 friends together, we can all get an ounce.
Listen. Because I got a budget, I got a limit. I will go up to 150. I will. Yeah. I will go 150. 2, we're going to have to pray about it. We're going to have to walk up and down, kind of look at the check and account, see, okay, well, if we do get this bottle, why?
Yeah. What else we going to have to not do after this?
What we not going to do? What we going to give up for the money?
Low key, that's almost how we got this interview, because I picked up that bar sound with the root. That was probably our most expensive one.
Yeah, that was up there. But I mean, it was one of those, we've been looking for something like it for a long time. So we're like, okay, let's go ahead and do it.
Yeah, now I'm cut off from buying bottles for a while.
Yeah, she's the one that she'll buy it. Like, she'll buy it. And I'm like, hey, we need the views. We need to get up out of here.
We need to be current. We need to keep up with what's happening in the market. Like,
we need to leave. We need to leave now. What?
So, listen, me and mine, we the opposite. We'll run up into a liquor store and he be like, oh, let's get this. And I'm like, why?
Yeah. No.
He be like, and him, you need the content. You need some more content. You need to post. And I be like,
that's all true. However,
comma, like, just get this over here. We already got it. You need to
already got something like that. Yeah.
I'm with you, because I'm not the cutoff one. I cut him off because I know blends. He loves blends. Why do I have 3 bottle blends in my house?
He just loves it, man. Now, is he trying to get all the horses? Is he one of those? Or is he just...
I'm one of those now, because I got bottles of blends in my house.
Okay. So now you're like, okay, that's A, B, C. I forgot how it is. This is numbers of letters. And it's a different... Yeah, I never got into that. I bought 1 bottle. I tried it, and it was
But how much did you pay for that bottle?
I paid... I think it was like 50.
I ain't never paid 50 for no blends.
I think it's something like that.
Oh, I'm jealous. The most we pay, I got one that's 150. But I will say this, even though I was fussing at the other 2 bottles, they were 99 each. So I was like, we probably ain't never in life gonna see that again in the state of Texas. So I even though I was like, that's $200, bro. Like, we could do something else. Yeah. But at the same time, I'm like, oh, but it was $99 each. So, I mean, because again, we're not going to see that here. Well, I'm not going to ever see $50.
I couldn't tell you. We'd have to really itemize everything out. But we have several bottles that I don't know if I have the stomach to buy them again because of how much the price has doubled, tripled. And we thought they were kind of expensive then. Like, wow, why would I spend $70 on a bottle of 1942, and I was like, that's crazy. And then now it's like $150.
Yeah, it's $200.
It's like $200, and I'm like, was it that good, baby? And she's like, it was good, but I don't know if it was too something good. I don't know. And so we're like, well, it was fun while it lasted. It's like it was fun while it lasted. We're gonna move on to something else.
Yeah.
Yep. Because I say that about Booker's too. I'm like, it's still sitting on the shelf. Like, okay. Did I really need that?
Booker's is good to have. I think it's a good sipper. A real good
Yes,
sipper.
that's exactly what it is. And I actually pull it out when company. Like I will put
somebody who can appreciate it.
Yes. I definitely pull it out with that. Because it's not bad. It's just like, did I really want to spend that money on it? And then again, with my whole, because I do like to collect, now I'm like, do I want to get all the 2004s and then do all the 2025?
Yeah. There you go.
Like whenever they come out, do I just need to, because they don't, they're far and few between here too. So then I'm like, well, it's not that expensive. It's in the 100-ish. It's still in my, price point. Like I want to, but Booker's is that one that, yeah. But
I'm still holding on. I got a little book. I'm still holding on to it.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on to that.
Yeah, we got one of them sitting up there. I think it's rarely in the shot. I don't think you can see it because we got stuff a little higher up that the people can't see on the camera, and we're like, well, I don't know when we're gonna open that one. It's something special, I guess.
I'm about to insure that one.
That part. And listen, they don't come for me. Them acronyms, federal governments, but some of it is a write-off. Just saying.
Yeah.
So, that is part of my business, and so some of those bottles be used for business purposes.
That's right.
I'll be updating my spreadsheet soon.
Yes.
We have several of those that are like that.
Yes.
It's like, we only did this for the views, baby. We only did this. We did that for you guys. We didn't really
try it, so you don't.
We tried it so you didn't have to. Because we care.
Giving and sharing,
Yeah, exactly.
Giving knowledge, we have to learn to grow. So
that's right.
That's right. And I'm gonna be so great at
you really
don't judge me. It was good.
We're gonna have to make another one.
So listen, I had made one.
What's this one? I got
is that green?
That green color. I like that. What you got there?
So we in the holiday season. And again, I'm extra.
Okay.
So I use damn whiskey. Shout out to my people out of Dallas. So I did that, and then I used cranberry bitters and mint bitters. I did about 3 dashes of each, and simple syrup. I made my own, just regular simple syrup. But what made it green? So shout out to my college roommate, Stephanie. I hope she listened to this.
Everybody got college roommate named Stephanie.
Yeah. Stephanie Robinson in college, but it's Gonzalez now. But shout out to her when I had went home one time to Dallas, and she'd have messed around and told me about this edible glitter that they put in champagne. Okay. No, they do put it in champagne, but we went to brunch at Pangea's in Dallas. Black on too. So we went to brunch, and they had a gold old fashioned. And it's just a regular old fashioned, but I kept trying to figure out, what is this? How is this gold? What is the secret behind it? My mind is blown. She talking about, girl, that is edible glitter. I said, what?
Okay.
And so Googled it. She said, and she did. She Googled it. And here I am again. I'm extra. I'm fascinated that my old fashioned is gold. So I went on Amazon and I ordered gold, blue, green,
that's what I'm talking about.
Orange. For Halloween, I made a black old fashioned. I made an orange old fashioned.
That's what I'm talking
about. Now, this is my Christmas tree old fashioned.
Oh, that's awesome.
So it does have that glitter in it. When you held it for a minute, I noticed the glitter. I was like, it was just green, but no, it's actually
shimmering.
Yeah, it's shimmering. Okay.
I love the extraness about you.
Yeah, that's nice.
See, that's me. That is me. I was like, this is what you gonna get. So I'm like, people, y'all look, when y'all come to Houston, y'all, this is the same person you gonna get.
Okay. Yeah. And if you ever in Oklahoma, just let us know.
Yeah. Don't worry. We'll come see you first, though. Y'all got more to do. So
yeah, we're in Oklahoma City area.
I've never been to Oklahoma City.
Well, come on.
The farthest I've been to Oklahoma was WinStar.
Oh,
okay.
Just
yeah, that's
further,
touching.
just a couple of hours.
Yeah, you got a little ways to go. But, you have an official library card to the library, so.
Oh yes, I will be there. We should do We should do an event in Oklahoma City. I said tasting event or something.
I'm for that.
Yeah,
we should do a collaboration or something. I'm just saying.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Look, y'all should do a live podcast at a spot and do some old fashions.
Okay.
Okay. We might know a spot or two that will allow us to do
it. Sounds like an invitation for a collab.
It does. And I accept.
2025. You know, come on down to Oklahoma. Because I'm just going to either fly from here or go to Dallas, go home to Dallas or fly from there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
that's Dallas too. Yeah.
So if y'all come to Dallas, definitely let me know. I'll meet y'all in Dallas. That's a hop skip. That's 4 hours. But it's
it's the halfway point, really. Because for us it's by 4.
Look, because we can get Ursula, we can get a couple more people from the network and have a good old time.
We can have a good old time. We can bring in damn whiskey. We can actually go to Whiskey's Dallas, which is now. Listen, if y'all want to know my favorite whiskey bar in Dallas, Texas, they got hands down beat. They know this. Whiskey's Dallas in South Dallas, across from Fair Park, so Fair Park area. Whiskey's Dallas. They are Black owned. They have won a couple of awards. So that would be a great spot to do a collaboration with them too. So
let's make that happen.
We need to do that.
Every time I go home, they see me coming.
Oh yeah, that would be fun. And then we can do Murmur out there and play.
Yeah, they are.
Mm-hmm. She's out there. Yeah.
That was a good time.
Yeah, we had her on the show too.
That should be coming out soon.
Awesome. This was great. I'm glad. Look, y'all are fun.
Hey, I'm just happy to do this. We love this kind of thing here to tap into people who are in the industry and really shed a positive light on us in this thing. So I love this.
So what do y'all do? So y'all have the podcast, but what is y'all? Look, now I'm gonna interview y'all. This is my turn.
That's all good.
But what is y'all goal? What is the goal for the podcast for Liquor Connoisseur?
Our goal is to try everybody else's stuff and see how we can make our own someday.
That's a good goal. That's a real good goal. Do y'all have a launch date or just keep going to see? Y'all have a plan to where y'all want to roll out?
Money is a factor.
Yeah.
But we're working towards it.
Yeah.
Seeing what we can do to get there and just how we can keep stepping up in the industry to get there. So right now we've got merch that we sell. We've got hot toddy kits on our website that we sell.
Okay. Look, y'all got more than me. I ain't got no website no more.
Oh, yeah. You got to get back in there.
I had one when the book first came out. Yeah, January 2023.
Gotcha.
It was an epic fail. So I just been using Linktree. I haven't found a good web developer. And people would send me their web developers and I look and I'm like, because I'm always that person because I don't know, I don't necessarily know what I'm looking at, but I need you to know my vision without me saying my vision type thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't come to you and be like, okay, well, this is what I want. What I'm saying is, I need a website to sell my books and, to sell my product and to look, elegant, but also fun. And then I just need somebody to take what I just said and then create a masterpiece.
There you go. A lot of us want that. It's just, hey man, you should know you're good at this.
Yeah, we
Make
did
it work.
We did ours. It's a lot of work.
It's a whole lot of work. And that's a part of the journey that we've had is we've kind of figured out okay, editing is hard.
Mm-hmm.
The lights, camera, action is hard. A lot of our stuff is kind of unscripted. We do it like this because the scripting is hard. All of that stuff, I respect everybody in every aspect of this business. Writing the books, publishing, that's not easy. Making these cocktails, they make that look easy. That's not easy. Like, because I've seen it. Like, we try to make some cocktails. Like, dang, I look like I did that with my toes. That's wild. I am oblivious. But you look at other people and how they move in this space, and you're like, that took a lot of time, and I can recognize the sweat equity. I respect it, and I want to give you your shine because I respect that process from the distillers, the marketers, all of these people. I mean, I didn't realize that many of them, they've been doing it 10, 15 years before they got into the alcohol space. And so they already had the physique, and they just flipped it to this. And you're looking at it like, oh, they just created a channel. They're brand new like me. No, they're not brand new like you. They've been doing this for 20 years. They just morphed it from a different space. So it's a different game. And we try to tap in with these folks and just pick their brains, learn as much as we can, and build on our craft, because we kind of cut our teeth in just about every little space. We try to make some cocktails, make a little merch, shoot some little TikTok videos. And it's like, all of that is extremely difficult to make it do 1 million views and sell 100,000 units a week. Like, all of that is very hard.
It is. Very hard. I admire y'all. I had a podcast for about almost 2 years, but it was an attorney. It was called No Further Questions. So it was me and 2 other attorneys. We still kind of got our Instagram. We ain't did nothing with that Instagram page, but we had it. Yeah, we had it for 2 years, and then COVID happened. And so we had to learn that space to do, like, now virtual. You know, it's easy now because we we went to a podcast studio every week. We was there. That was a lot. And like you said, having to come up with questions. We had live interviews. So our guests were in the studio with us. And we had and so after a while, it just got a lot. And then we started kind of scaling back. And then then one of my podcast hosts, she moved to Utah, and we still tried, but she's on a different time zone. And I'm old now, so I like to go to bed early. And she was like an hour behind. I'm like, y'all want to record at 7? And I said, the way we sat there and talk, like, so I get the whole podcasting. Like, somebody asked me to do one again, like to have my own, and I'm like, no. It's because it is and we didn't edit. We was just raw, unfiltered. Got so
we don't do much editing.
We try to limit the editing because we want it to be as genuine as possible. We want to be approachable. Like we want this to be like, when we kind of started off like reaching out to the people in the surrounding area. So we didn't realize how much, whiskey we made here in Oklahoma, vodka and all that good stuff that we make here. And so we want to reach out to those people, and everybody's like, oh, cool. We'd love to be on the channel. We're like, sweet. We got like 3 followers, and 2 of them are us. You the 3rd. Thank you for getting on the channel. This is what's up. And they were like, okay, cool. But so we just had a lot of fun, and we just want to make sure we shed that light. Like, oh man, we can kind of come up, together in this thing and really, put us on the map for something good with this, and just reach people where they at. We're trying to, our demographic was the, late 20s, late 40s group of people who were burned in college. They were like college, and some of them that may have done some underage drinking. We don't promote that, but the people who were college and up, and they were like, man, I hate tequila, or I hate vodka, I hate this. And it's like, everything you drank came in a little squeezy bottle, and it was like $2.
Or it was everything that was marketed to you. And you didn't know any better. I didn't know any better. And so we just tried stuff. And most of it was trash. We came up in the Mad Dog era. We came, and so this is, you get it. So that kind of stuff will make you run from this space. And then you find good quality products, and we make a lot of them, and you're like, okay, we can do this like the right way. So let's shine a light on that space and promote this, and then we can get rid of some of these bad memories, and that way we can actually drink and do this to remember. See, we can remember this
for a good reason, and not wake up tomorrow and be like, oh my God, that was a terrible experience. It's like, no,
my head hurt. And my head is
my head hurts. Yeah. No, we can get away from that. We too old for that now. So
listen, my dream used to be the Incredible Hulk and
Yeah. See, you same era. And Incredible Hulk.
From the Hulk to old fashioned.
Yeah, from Hulks to old fashions. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. Hulk, I love that. Is a great look. I just name that from Hulks to old fashioned.
Yeah, okay.
Not to keep me off in the crap. When Hypnotic first came out, and I'm thotting and bopping in them good.
What?
I walking up there with that, give me because I was just drinking Hypnotic by itself because it was pretty. Mm-hmm. And then, somebody said, well, try it with Hennessy. And it's an Incredible Hulk. Changed my life.
That was a terrible idea.
So
mistakes were made.
What's worse? And then when X-rated too, because X-rated was pretty.
Oh, that was mine. That was where I started.
Listen, X-rated, and then you did Sprite. Mine was X-rated and Sprite. You couldn't tell me nothing. So I'm over here cute with my little pink X-rated drink. I'm not in popping, walking up to the bar. Can I get an X-rated? Thinking I just know what I'm doing.
Yeah. Well, all that stuff hurt so bad the next day. Why?
Sugar water. Sugar water and regret.
That's the other one. Sugar water and regrets. I'm trying to tell you.
That sounds like a shirt.
Your merch dropping soon. Yeah.
You got water and regret. From Hulk to old fashions.
I'm telling you. We've done a lot of growing. We just want to bring a lot of people with us because we remember, man. We know why a lot of people didn't just quit drinking just because it was bad to do. They quit because what they were drinking was so trash and the side effects
wasn't worth it.
Yeah, it wasn't worth it. And then we overconsumed. It was all bad. It didn't mix at all. So
and I love that. And I love how y'all are like educating the people on that. What we also need to though as a community, and I tried it with my book. I hate this whole thing. Brown make me whatever. Frown.
Yeah, that's not true.
I hate that with a passion. And then they be like, I can't mix drinks all the time. Just saying sometimes I don't mix. And because I'm tasting. Like when you go to whiskey tasting, like I might taste a vodka or, so it might be a vodka brand or a tequila and I'm tasting whiskey. So I feel like we need to debunk those myths. And like, especially just the thing with brown liquor. And dealing with certain generations, no shade, but Crown Royal, yeah. I'm a brand ambassador for some brands, and it's been many a times I took Crown Royal at their hand and put a better quality in it, and I was like, let me know what you think.
Yeah.
And when they come see, like when I'm tasting there again, doing a tasting, they'll say, you changed my life.
Yes.
Have you had Frisky whiskey?
You said what?
Frisky whiskey.
They that out of New York.
No, I think it's out of North Carolina area. I can't remember. It's Nicole.
New York.
Nicole Young is the owner.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. I thought for some reason I thought she was in New York. She's not here. She's not in Texas. So I
had to order it online, but to get people off that Crown, that Frisky will do it.
Yeah, that's the way. Okay, like, if you don't do, because what had happened was people who got on this train of the Crown apples and the Crown caramel, vanillas and all that, and it's just like, be careful, because you get 2-3 of those, and then Frisky whiskey doesn't do that to you because it's naturally, it has that caramel is pumped up a little bit in there. But it's naturally sweetened with that, and it's not that same trash. So we're also like, okay,
Diageo,
we can do it better.
Look, we ain't got no money, Diageo. Don't be coming for us like we talking about Crown. Don't be coming for us. We ain't got no money.
Right, and that's why the brands we don't enjoy, we do not review.
Yeah, yeah. We strategically reviews.
How y'all like everything? Because y'all don't see what we don't like.
Yeah, y'all don't see it. You just don't see it. Yes.
There is one in particular that they've been asking me to review, and I said, y'all ain't gonna come for me. Y'all ain't coming for me because I ain't trying to get canceled before. I got me a good footing, but it's a certain So because everybody they was like, "Well, you go viral." Yeah, but I don't need
not the kind of viral I want though.
I think I know what you're talking about.
But I will say, it does make a good old fashioned.
Yeah, I understand.
Right?
I know.
I definitely would say it make a good.
Hold on. Did it by chance make the book? Because I'm thinking of one. It didn't? Okay, cool.
But this ain't been out about a couple of months.
Okay.
I think the one she talking about is the one Reserve Bar, Mr. Maorda.
Okay. Swear.
Probably.
Okay, that's good.
But you can get it here more because you know from the history behind it.
Yeah, we're good. We got you.
So I'm just gonna say, this is my review, so y'all can stop asking me. It makes a great old fashioned.
All right.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's a beautiful bottle.
Yeah.
Yes,
that part is true.
It is.
That part is very true.
So this is it. Make sure this go in when y'all edit. Yes, that's my review. So don't ask me no more in these streets. To the viewers, I gave my review.
Thank you for being here. We appreciate you, Brandy, the old-fashioned barrister.
Yes, because my drink is empty, actually.
As always, drink to remember, not to forget.
Amen. Cheers. Thank you for having me.